All right, so let's just go ahead and we'll do a live read through of the patch notes here, and we'll give my personal take and thoughts and opinions on all this stuff here. So it looks like we're getting weapon balance changes, some other things. So here we go. So long just didn't read. We make less frequent, better tested, higher impact balance changes in order to minimize the impacts on your time spent mastering the game. Okay, whatever, sure. Weapon balance, random picture. Okay. So overall, we feel that the current weapons present solid options for a variety of gameplay styles. We found that the Skull Piercer Wingman has been on the stronger end, but it's designed to be a weapon with a higher skill ceiling. Our adjustments are attempting to move it into more of the hand cannon space and away from full auto deagle. We've also adjusted the rate of fire on the Peacekeeper with shotgun bolt attachment, so players will have a larger window of vulnerability if they miss their shot. Additionally, the scarcity of energy ammo and lower number of energy weapons overall has made those weapons difficult to main, so we've increased energy weapon and ammo availability. Wingman rate of fire reduced slightly. Skull Piercer damage multiplier reduced slightly. And then increased hip fire spread and decreased the rate at which hip fire spread decays. Okay, so basically it's still going to be an aim down sights god. They have not nerfed AD strafing whatsoever. Very few people are hip firing the gun anyways. So most times people are using the Wingman and doing ridiculous things with it are when they're playing Wraith and they're going AD, 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 AD very quickly. For controller players, that's, you know, left, right on the control stick very, very quickly. Like full left, full right, full left, full right, right? So that's that small hitbox plus high ground speed plus swinging, like the whole body swings when they do that. Like it's that is what makes the Wingman overpowered. It is not the fire rate necessarily. It is the capacity, and it is the speed at which you move while aiming down sights. So they have successfully not nerfed the things that made it really strong. Like reduced rate of fire is helpful. Skull Piercer headshot damage down is helpful, but the main things that make it overpowered have not been touched. So the Wingman is still going to be #1 best gun, most likely. Peacekeeper, shotgun bolt nerfed. I agree with this change. Good, fine. That is a-okay by me. Wingman and Peacekeeper availability has been reduced in all zone tiers, so you're going to find fewer Wingman and fewer Peacekeepers. Okay. Why no P2020 or Mozambique buffs? We love your beak memes. We're hesitant to lose that. Literally called that. Literally called that. In all seriousness, their goal is to have a power curve. Power curve just means that some weapons will be weaker or more common, while others will be stronger and rarer. Some weapons are intentionally less powerful until fully perped, with hop-ups and attachments, while other weapons on the bottom of the power curve are your early game better than melee, but gotta upgrade out of ASAP weapons. We've seen some good feedback from players about how to make these pistols more exciting without losing out on that goal above that we're listening to. We'll continue to watch player data and feedback and try things out internally, but for now they'll remain the same. The only use for the P2020 right now is if you're running a Wingman in your primary slot and they nerf the magazine capacity and you need a second weapon to switch to very quickly. The Wingman or the P2020 has an incredibly fast switch to time. So that will help you to finish off targets very, very effectively. And as long as you're using a Wingman and they don't nerf the magazine capacity, the gun is already every single purpose in one weapon. It's your close range, it's your mid-range, it's your long range, it's your spam gun, it's your low ammo required, low ammo used weapon. It's just the perfect gun in every sense. You only need maybe 2 stacks at most of Wingman ammo for it to be effective through like 4, 5, 6 team fights. And heavy ammo is so common, you can replenish it so easily that it's just not even really a factor. So if you have a Wingman, you legitimately do not need any other weapons whatsoever. You might as well, if you want to be a super meme, you could try to run a P2020 to switch fast to it. Otherwise, yeah, there's kind of no point. Your other weapon besides a Wingman probably should be something that you ADS and can burn very quickly to kill unsuspecting targets. But if you have a suspecting target, then Wingman is the only weapon in the game, really. So things to consider would be maybe a shotgun, but probably not. More likely than not, probably a carbine is what you would take, because this is going to have an insanely fast time to kill. It's going to let you melt an unaware target, and as soon as they turn on you, then you just switch to Wingman and you just power them down. All you do is just Wingman at, yeah, whatever. You guys get the point. Wingman, just crazy. Gun needs more nerfs than what they did. But I guess I understand that they don't want to just kill the gun instantly. They want to take it step by step, so It's definitely better than it was before. That is for sure. Addressing legend balance and hitbox feedback. Our goal is to be able to have characters with different rig sizes, hitboxes, and ability kits, and still have each character be roughly equal in power level, win rate, and viability of pick. For character balance, we look at a combination of things: pick rate, win rate, and character versus character matchup win rate, along other metrics, and of course player feedback. The results between 5 small and medium rig characters have been positive. They are all in a safe band of relatively equal power. I would agree. Our large rig, with the exception of Mirage. Mirage is the worst character in the game. Our large rig character, well, actually, no, he's not the worst because he has a medium hitbox. If he had a large hitbox, he'd be the worst in the game. But his abilities are god-awful. They're completely terrible. They don't help the team. They are actually an active detriment to him if he uses his ultimate. It's legitimately an active detriment. The Hollow Pilot legend is actually the cloak legend. The only reason you use the ult is not because of the benefits of the ults, like the hollows or whatever that come out. It's the fact that you use it before a fight starts to have cloak so you can run into a weird position with cloak. Like, that's the only purpose of that ult, is to use it offensively, not defensively. So, Respawn is planning on adjusting the size of the large character hitboxes to better fit the model. If these changes are insufficient to bring these characters in line, they're also considering a range of other changes such as natural damage reduction, ooh, not a fan, as well as individual power kit tweaks, or kit power tweaks. Because many of these changes are significant, we want to make sure they are heavily tested before they go live in the event they are necessary. Below is a quick overview of the roadmap and how we're thinking about bringing large characters back in line. Overall, Respawn wants to try to increase the power level of the large rig characters before we consider large nerfs to everyone else. While we've made small adjustments, we're hopeful that increasing the power of large rigs is healthier than nerfing everyone else. Gibraltar does not need buffs. I'm going to say it here. Gibraltar is not super great, but his kit is fan-freaking-tastic. Gibraltar's kit is incredibly good, actually. It is very, very, very strong. A hitbox change to him will be helpful, but the gun shield is still huge and it's still going to take all those shots regardless. Like, you're still going to be being hit a lot. Basically, you're going to be hit quite a lot. I don't know how much a big hitbox reduction for him is going to help. I hope that it's a significant one so it actually makes a difference, but I just don't know until we see how it feels. I really think the true issue is not that large hitbox characters are necessarily too big. Maybe like a little bit of a reduction, but I think the major issue is that the small legends are too small. I don't think it's that the big characters are too big. I think it's the small ones are too small. Josh Levish, I have not watched anyone else's Apex Legends videos for the most part, except maybe 1 or 2 very small ones like that were linked to me, like how to wall kick or whatever, or Mr. Blablack's grapple guide. That's really about it. All my videos are completely unique to me and not colored by others' opinions. I actively avoid Apex Legends videos so they do not spoil my opinions and my thoughts. But I mostly believe that characters like Lifeline and Wraith should be made larger before Gibraltar and everyone else is made significantly smaller. But we'll see what the changes, whatever change they make, we'll try it. Like, I do think they should be a little smaller, but not too much, because Gibraltar has potential to be ridiculously good very, very fast with, you know, if he gets changed too much. Pathfinder, same boat. Pathfinder is on the cusp of being insanely good, but is only held back by the hitbox. So if you start bringing that in line, you start making him very tall, very thin, you make his legs have small, like, tight hitboxes, oh boy, like, Pathfinder is going to be ridiculously good, and you're going to see a lot of him, but that might be okay, honestly. That might be okay, because he's a high skill ceiling character, and yada yada. So we'll have to wait and see on the Pathfinder front. Caustic, he needs all the help he can get. Caustic should have a Bangalore hitbox. Caustic should go down to a Bangalore size hitbox. Like, he is the one that really needs that hitbox change. So I hope that Caustic really slims down. Gibraltar and Pathfinder need it less because their kits are so good as it is, but Caustic needs help. So let's go back to the actual patch notes. The major changes that they're looking to do: hitbox size reductions and optimizations for Caustic, Pathfinder, Gibraltar, better sizing them to the model. Since adjustments will have a major impact in the game, yes, they will. They don't want to rush the changes out. Cool, fine. If the changes are insufficient, they'll consider additional adjustments during Season 1. Okay, cool. Caustic. 5 seconds faster traps. 10% bigger traps, basically. Like bigger radius, and they're triggered earlier as well. And then removed the delay for the smoke dealing damage, so it's just instant damage. Cool. Caustic needed all of those things. You know what they need to do on top of all of that is make it so Caustic can shoot his own traps sooner than anyone else can shoot them. Because right now, when you throw the trap, there is such a long wind-up that any enemy near it has an opportunity to pull their gun out, aim at the base, and they are seriously in a ping battle with you to see who can shoot the trap first. If the enemy shoots the base of the trap first, it disappears and does nothing. If you're able to shoot the body of the trap first, then your trap goes off and it becomes invincible and it starts spewing gas in an invincible state. And it is a total 50-50. It's a total coin flip. You're purely locked behind ping and chance as to who is going to get that trap activated or destroyed first. So Caustic really needs to have a small window where he can destroy his own trap before an opponent can. Caustic needs that specific change to be a really, really good legend. So I hope that in the future they can add that for him. Pathfinder, so more beacons in the world for him to use. Cool. Lifeline no longer has level 4 armor and helmets on her ultimate. Okay, she needs a hitbox nerf, as in she needs to be made fatter, but that's cool, I guess. Reduce the swinginess of RNG? Sure, fine. Wraiths into the Void, her phase shift, 5 more seconds of cooldown. Good, fantastic. Legitimately, every player who is trying to set kill records in this game plays Wraith, because she has the smallest hitbox for the most part, has the craziest animations for the most part, and she has an oh shit button, which turns off her ability to die on a very short cooldown. She can do very, very aggressive things, and then just get out scot-free, no punishment whatsoever, which is fine as part of her kit, but it can happen too often, so I'm happy to see a 5-second nerf. Bangalore's double time move speed bonus nerfed. Good. That was too strong. I'm happy that it was changed. And that's it for the patch notes. So this is absolutely better than nothing. This is definitely malleating the game in the way that it needs to go. I'm happy that they are doing these specific changes, but I really think that they need to do a couple of more things, and that would be make the small legends a little bit bigger. I think they need to really look at the walking speed while aiming down sights with every single weapon in the game, because right now, the reason that you don't see as many Spitfires, carbines, or any other weaker rifles as often as you would like is because you have to walk so incredibly slowly while aiming them down sights that you are simply bait for the Wingman. You are simply going to get destroyed by a Wraith 80 strafing with a Wingman popping your head off while you're basically stuck and unable to move trying to hit them with a tracking-based weapon. It's just... I find that if you're not at the absolute highest level of play, if you're like a quote-unquote normie, right, that some of the strongest weapons in the game, the Spitfire and the Carbine, and even like the Havoc if you have a turbocharger or whatever, like things like that, because you have to aim them down sights and you reduce your walking speed to effectively 0, they feel not viable. The most viable weapons, to me, in my opinion, at 1 month into the game, which this can change, but right now, what it feels like is that the only weapons that are truly viable and that you should always, always, always be going for is Wingman Peacekeeper, or Wingman Eva, maybe, you know? It feels like those are the god guns, and you shouldn't really be looking for anything else. Maybe an SMG, you know, maybe an R99, because that lets you move at mostly full walk speed while ADS. Not quite as fast as Wingman, but still really fast. It just feels like if you're not using those weapons, you're kind of wrong in most roles. Like, unless you're relying on catching people out of position and you're not trying to get in those head-on fights, if you're trying to fight from longer range, I can see an argument for Spitfire, but or like DMR, stuff like that, but anything that requires you to stay ADS to track an opponent, any tracking-based weapon feels not not really as good as they ought to be right now to me. You know, if you guys disagree, you have other opinions, that's totally fine. Tell me about it, and, you know, we can talk about it. But in my evaluation right now, and specifically the PC metagame of mouse versus mouse, of you know, of raw aim skill battles, I honestly feel like 80 strafing Wingman, even with these nerfs, is still going to be the best thing in the game, and that you should not bother wasting your time trying to build any tracking-based weapons, because they are just going to let you down most of the time. Just checking on chat really quick here. Priz in chat says, the biggest thing for Lifeline, especially in competitive, needs to be the drone does not heal in zone. It is actively ruining the game. I can agree with you on that, honestly. I don't think that the drone should be able to heal you in zone. It's kind of weird to me that it's able to, but yet, say for example, I'm playing Caustic, I have a teammate playing Lifeline. If we are standing in my smoke, not enemy smoke, my Nox gas, the drone will not heal any of us. The drone will not attach to us and heal. That makes no sense. I'm sure that's a bug, probably a bug, but I feel like in situations like that, the drone really shouldn't work. I shouldn't be able to heal within my own Nox gas. I shouldn't be able to heal within enemy Nox gas. I shouldn't be able to heal within the zone. I do feel that there should be that hard barrier there. So I do kind of agree with you, Priz. I would like to see a change like that for sure. But anyways, guys, that'll be it for patch notes. I am overall happy. I know I may not sound like it, but I am very happy with the changes here. I think that this is pushing the game in a much better direction. And only time will tell, and new legend releases and new weapon releases will tell how the game is going to shift from here. This is definitely like 80 to 90% good. There's a few things I disagree with, but you're never going to be perfect. This is much better than where the game was. This is much better than where the game was. Anyways, guys, for those of you that are on YouTube, thanks for watching. I appreciate you all being here, and I will see you again very soon. And for Twitch, let's continue the show.